Karibu tena. As I said, this is part 2. Tunaendelea na discussion ambayo tulikuwa nayo mwanzo na Fila. Karibu tuendelee. Now, let's talk a bit about this voice. How's it called?
Amazing
Voices.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, have you been a judge in any other?
Yeah.
Preferably local?
Yes.
Okay.
So now I've done 2 shows before I got the opportunity to do Amazing Voices. The very first show that I did was courtesy of a gentleman, the late Bruce Odhiambo. Okay. You know, he gave me an opportunity to be a judge in a production that was being run by Kiss TV, and it was called The Search. It was more or less a singing competition. And, you know, that was a platform for me. And I realized, okay, I have this thing where I'm a very good critic, music critic. So sometimes I might appear a bit harsh, but I felt...
Stop there. I was watching Amazing Voices with someone who does not know you.
Yeah.
So I simply said, I know this guy. And then he kept saying, your friend is not even shaking. He's just there.
Yes.
It's like music is not moving him.
Yes.
And he is always, whenever he has to give a comment it's a negative one. Then I just had to keep quiet.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the reasons why this conversation about these competitions and judges has been running in my head. You are finishing something, then I have a question for you.
Yeah. So now, I that was the first platform where I was giving comments, and I felt with the feedback, and then when you look at the ratings with the producers of the show, they say, yeah, you're the tough judge, so I think we keep doing this. So after The Search, I got an opportunity to do KTN's I Can Sing, so I did 2 seasons of that, and I was privileged to be, a main judge on that, and it really opened for me doors, built my brand. So after that, one day I just got a call from a production company called Bright Fire from South Africa, and they said, there's this show we are working on, and we would want you to come down to South Africa. Of course, I thought it was a lie, so I didn't make any commitment. I said, just send me the details. They said they're going to send a contract. After a month, they sent the contract, and it was looking real. And I didn't believe anything until the day I saw All Mutual posting about the show. And then I went back to my messages and I looked, this show was called Amazing Voices. And then it's called All Mutual's Amazing Voices. Then I believed it was true. And then, so I reached out to the lady and I told her, how is it going about the contract? And
you started being afraid.
Now I was worried, man, these guys must have considered, because trust me, the people who are being called to be preliminary judges were all celebrities from other countries and also celebrities from Kenya. So I am a fairly known voice coach and everything, but I didn't think I was on that platform to be on a show that is being broadcasted all over Africa Magic and Go TV and everything. So I felt, well, it would be easy for someone to undercut me on this. Well, of course, I prayed to God, God, if this thing is meant to be, I think it would really build my brand. And I think the figure that they're offering me would be a very good amount that would help me do a lot of the projects that I want to do. And they confirmed, and we did the first season. My ratings were very good as a judge. We were called now back for the second season. Some judges weren't called. So it was an opportunity, and I could say, wow, this is not something that I take for granted. This is a very big opportunity that I'm even being called for a second season. And then we were even now working on a third season before now changes were made, and that was discontinued. And it has opened for me so many other doors and so many other platforms, built my brand immensely. So it's something that I don't take for granted. I think now the benefit of the show for me, it works in terms of building my brand as a judge. I think for the artists, they would have to be very intentional in terms of what they want to benefit from the show. And I think that is the discussion that maybe you want to go deeper into. But yeah, I think there's a place for reality music shows. But yeah, I think it's a conversation that, is very open, and there are different opinions, and, I'm willing to, just speak more about my opinion and how I look at them.
Okay.
Yeah.
A question. I remember one comment from you. Was that a choir from South Africa?
All right.
It's more of a choral group.
All right.
Then they were doing this pop song. And then their voices were so rounded, so operatic, so full voices. Then you said, okay, you're sounding good. Harmony is on point, but you were using choral technique. And the song you picked was a pop song.
Yes.
To me, that was enlightening. Now, on the other hand, we have another performance where someone has sung fairly good. Problems here and there, but just performance problems, not really technical problems. Then someone says, umeimba off mwanzo mpaka mwisho. This is another platform. I had to rewatch that performance from the beginning to the end. And this person was in key. Another one, a young lady sings out of key from the beginning to the end of that show. I'm sorry if I'll look like I'm mentioning someone, but the judge said, oh my. Like, that performance was on point. While this performer was off key from the beginning to the end of the performance. Now, we know there are things to do with brands, things to do with business, sponsorships and such, that someone said, and it really touched me, that it's not about who wins, it's not about the talent, it's also about the program.
Okay.
That, okay, we know that Asajile is a good musician, but he won't pull crowd. So, name comes first. What you associate with comes next. Abilities comes next. For example, this is music, okay. So if we say Fila associates with music. Oh, wow. Oh, and he knows what he's doing, fine. But we might have this another mainstream artist who is now at the top now. He associates himself with music. That's a tick. Technique? No. But he will pull the crowd. What's your opinion? Do you think we should really care about who pulls the crowd? There is another judge a few days ago who told a performer, that song is from Kenya. You are singing for Tanzanians. And it actually brought a lot of crowds. Now, what do you think is a position of musical or performance ability when choosing a judge?
When choosing a judge. Asajile, let me tell you first, and this is no, I hope this is off from what you're saying, and you have to put this in your show. It's your show, but you have to put this in your show, man. You have to have these conversations over and over.
And I think we should have a panel.
Yeah. Yes.
We have our venue here.
You have to have these conversations over and over. So that's the challenge to you. I think what you're doing is amazing, but if you don't keep this conversation going, nothing is going to change if you want things to change. Now, on competitions, and first of all, let's go back to, you're talking about someone sounds bad, but the judge is saying they sound good. Two reasons. There are two reasons. during these shows, it's something that I also used to comment about when I used to watch these shows until I finally got to sit in those shows. As a judge, you will see most judges having headphones, all right? And because they are given, and they may have some speakers, monitors that are facing them.
Sorry, there.
Yes.
You are talking about the voice. You are talking about
Amazing Voices.
Amazing Voices. You are talking about those platforms where even the choice of judges is not a mediocre kind of a thing.
Right.
But then we have these
local ones.
Yes, which are also not bad.
Yes.
They can have enough fun.
Yes.
To do everything.
Yes. So I just want to give you the aspects. So for example, let's talk about the ones that are done in Kenya, the ones that are done in Tanzania, the local shows. Like in Tanzania, there's one big one that has been running for a long time. Bongo Star. I love that show. Yes, as a Tanzanian, as citizens of the country, we love to hate on different technical aspects, but they are growing. And Bongo Star Search has produced some of the most amazing artists.
Yeah, actually.
So now, there are certain aspects, technical aspects. What the mix in the studio where the show is being recorded is sometimes different to how it's going to come out on TV.
Yes, true.
So that is one of the reasons why sometimes you feel, hey, that person sounds bad. Why are these guys saying they sound good? So that's one aspect.
But
yes,
yes. There is a moment where you get, okay, it just sounds bad. But then, what of the situation where, as much as I can see that it sounds bad, but I can notice if this person is in key or out of the key. And I wouldn't blame an artist for the sound quality. I thank God that I'm also a technician.
True.
So I know when this is a sound problem and when this
is a
musician's problem.
Yes. So that one aspect technical.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
The
other aspect is purely subjective. It's my opinion against your opinion.
Yeah.
I think this person sounds nice. You as a musician, you think they sound bad. Okay?
Yeah.
There have been situations where I've also been accused of the same, where, hey, Fila, really, those guys sounded bad. Why are you telling, And then, so now there's an aspect where, again, also my opinion. Number 3, boss, what is the show called? A reality show.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I need to make this show exciting, personally.
Okay.
Personally, I'm just going to be honest about personally, my opinion. I'm going to exaggerate my joy. I'm going to exaggerate my disappointment about your performance. If I had one off, or maybe 2 or 3, I'm going to say the whole song was a mess. Because I have to dramatize. I need to make you feel bad. How many people want to come to this platform? How many people want to win $100,000? And then you come and mess around with key? I can't take it. If I feel that you have something that I can only dream about, I am a very conservative person in performance. So when I see someone pouring out their performance in terms of dance, I'm jealous. Wow, how does this person dance so well and at the same time sing? I'm going to, because you're doing something that wows me. I'm a musician, but you're doing something that I personally cannot do. I'm going to exaggerate more than the person who can do it. Someone who can do it is going to hit. On issues of harmony, I'm going to be brutal. Because that's my forte. This is what I'm good at. I'll pick up a wrong placement of an arrangement, but in issues of dance, I can't dance. I can't dance well. It's something that I'm struggling with. So when I notice someone coordination and I notice people are doing it so well, there's synchrony, there's order, there's time, it speaks, I'm going to point that out.
But do you think this artist is being helped? When? Take 2 scenarios. And, okay, I'm not doing PR for the show we've been doing, but just think of it. You are on stage, your trainer is there. you mess on stage, then Fila is there. He's telling you, you see, 3 aspects. Arrangement, on point. Coordination, on point. Harmony, on point, but vocal technique, no. So when you come next time, make sure you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That trainer is not a god.
Yes.
He might have forgotten to say, oh, by the way, this song and this technique. So you are enlightening him first.
Yes.
You are enlightening the team. You are the witness. The next show with that group, it became better.
Yes.
Now, this is a judge who knows what he is doing.
Yes.
We're having another judge who is simply hamna kitu. Hamna kitu, urudi home, uende ukafanye kitu ingine. Music is not your thing.
And that is the thing. Asa, that's what you're missing.
But you're not helping them.
No. Personally, I prefer that judge who's saying hamna kitu.
Why?
He's going to prompt you to go home and think, why, kwa nini aliniambia sina kitu? Why? Why did he tell me that? Because that's what the world is going to tell you. You're not going to be performing for musicians.
Okay.
You're performing for Raya. There's a time I made a song, and I made the guy who's a soldier at our place listen to it. Ambia, unasikiaje hiyo kitu Ronald? Akaniambia, haigongi, haina ile, haigongi. Are you getting? And just that statement, I understood what that guy is telling me. He's telling me, and then amesikia, unasikia huyu jamaa, unasikia vile inagonga. He simply is telling me, your mix is wrong, your kick is weak, you get. So I am more interested, I think the guy who's being brutal, but not be giving me any specifics, helps me. Because I have a teacher. Because as a musician, I mean, you know where to get the musicians. But you want to be told, what does the world think about your music? There's something you asked. How should they choose judges, the quality of judges? I'm personally of the school of thought where a judge should not be a deep musician. A judge should be just someone who can be able to point out. In this aspect, in my area of harmonies, the harmonies are wrong. In my areas of how do you make me feel, there should be a judge who just answers, you haven't made me feel anything. That's important feedback.
Thank you.
That judge might not be a very good musician, might not be a doctor or a professor or something, but you have to make me feel something. There's someone who's technical, look and feel. How do you dance? How do you come on stage? How are the routines coming in together? Performance aspect. There's someone who, when I just listen to, can I shut my eyes and still feel you? There's someone for that. There's someone who, this has to be an experience visually. You see?
Yeah.
Another thing you've mentioned, you've talked about, why is it that a mediocre musician can win a competition and someone who's a brilliant musician
and
comes
brilliant
number 2?
performer?
I'm a teacher, you see? My students have been more successful than me.
Than you, yeah. Yeah.
You get. We have professors who teach us. No one knows them.
Yeah.
They're best musicians, but their contribution is to prepare us from behind the scenes.
Yeah, sure.
Some people, their gifting is technical. Some people, there's this assumption by musicians that you have to be famous.
The fame.
Everyone thinks that they have to be famous. No. Doesn't work like that. Some people, your work was to prepare people to be famous. There's someone who has to sweep this room.
And
without them, something is wrong. There's someone who, technique, I want to play this guitar well. Who do I go to show me this technique? There's someone whose work, he might not necessarily be a teacher, but that is the person who's going to teach this particular technique. Then now there's a person who tells you, boss, when you start performing here, look at the camera like this, and then sway like this, then move to this segment, that person is contributing to your fame. Not the problem comes in when you are a brilliant guitarist, but you've just told yourself, I also deserve to have an album. I also deserve to be famous. We are bringing so many different things to the table and contributing so many different factors. And then now the other problem is most reality shows, selling product. These reality shows are most of the times sponsored by a title sponsor. You'll hear so-and-so competition for voice. You'll hear about so-and-so. At the end of the day, they're selling a product. What is the best way to sell a product?
Is to impress the buyer.
To impress in the quickest way possible.
Actually, yes.
How do you impress in the quickest way possible from a musical standpoint? The easiest digestible way. Visually, in terms of the music, is it catchy?
Yeah.
Pam, padim, pam, pam, pam. Is it something that most people are going to be singing? Then image. Is this person beautiful? Are the people beautiful? So you might be a very gifted musician in terms of technique and everything, but that's that. You're just winning in one aspect. We are looking, is your music quick to digest? It's good, but it might be good as an album song.
Not as
we want something that tunagonga saizi, we listen to it, it goes, and everyone talks about it. And then now, performance aspect. Is this person amazing on stage? And hey, look at the way he's dancing. You know, those is another aspect. And then now, visual. Yani, how does this person look? If it's a lady, is she pretty? Is she sexy? You know, that's a human being. You want to look at the fairest person. You see, why do you consider a certain lady beautiful? What are the things that make you consider that person beautiful? You're just a human being. Just a human being. There are certain things that you consider to be beautiful, to be easy on the eyes. You'll hear people saying easy on the eyes. So now those small details make now the whole picture that now we call the X factor. And that's where you find, well, guys, you might not like this person's musicianship. He might not be a good singer. We can get him a voice coach. We'll get Fila to be his voice coach. So Fila doesn't become famous performing on stage.
But this guy...
I mean, between me who's 39 years old and someone who's 22 years old, and we're all singing the same way, and the guy looks slightly better, is a bit more slender, well-built. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Who will you take on tour? You'll take the younger person.
Between you and Bien.
Yeah, someone, yeah, me and Bien. Someone who's, Bien is built, let's be honest. I mean, at the end of the day, what is the extra thing that is being added? And then it's not an academic thing we're going to do. We're not discussing, hey, you used the fifth there. You used the interval. Wow, that was a very interesting, No, that we have platforms where we
do that.
We do that. But now this one is for the normal person. We want people to feel that they're in love. They feel that they're in air. So that's where reality competitions come in. And that's why it might not make sense. And you'll notice the most people who complain about such shows are musicians themselves. It's not a competition for musicians. It's a competition for how best can we make people feel good quickly while selling our product.
Wow.
And I think it's a marketing platform, and no brand should be apologetic about that.
Wow. I love it.
If I want to have a competition of technicalities, let's do it in the university.
Yes. You're making sense.
Yeah, let's do it in the university where everyone is technical. If we want to have a discussion where we are discussing research and, in-depth music, there are people who want that, but they're not the masses.
Yeah. So
they are not the masses.
So
you'll call a symposium. Call it a symposium. There are people who will come and it will be full, but you can't compare that because you want something that a family can sit down. Wow, let's support them. Football, soccer is simple. That's why it's the most popular sport instead of golf. You see, it's like comparing soccer to golf. Totally different things. One is going to bring in masses. It might be cheaper, but it brings in more masses, which now overshadows this one, which is expensive, pays the winner more money, but still the bigger budget is the one for the masses, and that's why they win. So it's about, what are we trying to push? But it doesn't mean that the person who was third is not brilliant. And I think that's what musicians who enter into these competitions need to understand. What is the show looking for? What is the show? What is the agenda of the competition?
What is it selling?
And there are many competitions that are 100% genuine. They're going to give it to the best. But are you bringing in the numbers? I mean, they look at their reviews and they say, okay, this guy is the best musician. But how many people are voting for this person? The stats are there. The stats are there. So I think there's an avenue. Musicians, and then as a judge, it's my opinion. You get? It's my opinion. I'll say, I like this one. So I'm usually against the competitions where the judge's decision is final. I usually find that to be a bit unfair because it's just an opinion of about 4 people who have decided we are doing this. But if they open up to voting, I think that's when now you get the feel of, hey, what are the masses thinking?
Wow, that's good. It has enlightened me so much. Now, 2 last things. First, if you were to change one thing in Kenyan music industry, what would you change in 2 minutes?
If I was to change something, I'd have changed at the point where mentorship got lost. I'd change the aspect of this idea that the baton is not being passed. Artists, a certain group or a certain artist is going to reach very high levels, but they don't pass on the knowledge of the industry. Basically, there's no system in Kenya. And there was a system in Kenya during the colonial period and after the colonial period when we had Polygram and all these music companies in Kenya. Something disappeared along the way. It's something that, again, on platforms like this, we can be able to discuss and follow up. But something got lost in terms of particularly mentorship
and passing on,
in terms of the business of music and music making sense for the artist. The traditional music, that has done very well. You're an ethnomusicologist, so you study how music has been passed on, but it's not happening with our urban music.
Wow.
Yeah.
Finally, where can people get Fila? Where can people get Red Fourth? How can someone be part of Red Fourth Chorus?
Yes.
How can someone be part of Red Fourth Academy? Yeah. How can they
So
get you?
Red Fourth Academy of Music, if you want to be a student at Red Fourth Academy of Music, we offer lessons in basically all instruments, including the voice. And then we offer private lessons. And then in the new year, we are hoping to get into ensembles where we have different groupings of instruments and singers to do different genres of music. So you can just contact us through our Facebook page, or you can even call us on 0721 156 209 156. I repeat again, 0715 209 156. You can call us, or you can even call us on 0723 218 135. 0723 218 135. You can call us, and then we can give you details of how you can join us as the Academy. You can also find us on Facebook, Red Fourth Academy of Music, Instagram, Red Fourth Academy of Music. Just DM us and we'll be able to get back to you. Red Fourth Chorus is a platform for any young person. We have a children's choir that will also be relaunching in the new year. And we also have a young adults choir from age 18 all the way to 25. So anyone who has a passion for music and singing in particular, it's a mentorship platform for people to sing. So you can call us again on 0715 209 156. So you call us on that number, or you can reach us through us on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll be able to get back to you. But we'll also be sending out invitations for new members with all the details. So it's for anyone who has a passion in contemporary music. We also do some classical music, but I would honestly say that we are more predominantly a contemporary choir. So we'll do pop music, we'll do gospel music, and then a mixture of African music. So that would be a good opportunity if you want to grow in that area. Then we also give you a platform to grow as a soloist. To get me, you get on Facebook, Fila_Tuju, on Instagram, Fila_Tuju, and also on Twitter, Fila_Tuju, and then we can be able to chat. Thank you.
Yeah, na YouTube, don't forget. YouTube, Redforth Chorus.
Yes, Redforth Chorus on YouTube, and then Philip Tuju on YouTube also.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for hosting me in your space as I host you in my show.
Yes.
So we are hosting you. Yeah, thank you for inspiring me.
Yes, as you inspire me, and I think what you're doing is so you are a big inspiration to me. You'll have no idea of how much you inspire me, and I think particularly with your musicianship. And as a Tanzanian who has come to Kenya and is making moves in Kenya, both academically and also with this area of, just building conversations of how the industry can be built. I think it's very, very important, and it's a challenge to all of us. Even, I think, to the whole of East Africa, if this can develop into a conversation that will be very, very regular, this particular topic of the music industry and the music business and the longevity of how it can grow, I think that is a very important platform that I think you have already started the conversation. So I think any way that we can support each other is very instrumental, because it will help build the industry as a whole and ensure that 10, 20 years to come, the new artists will be there and not going through the same problems we're going through today. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. This was a very long one, and we are finishing the second part of it. So thank you so much. Let's keep in touch. Sajile Mwakalinga is my name. Please subscribe. Na usiache kushare. Bye.